From KPRC, you're watching Local 2 News Saturday morning.
Well, a local teacher could be described as a weekend Indiana Jones. Up next, a local teacher who traveled around the globe to look for ancient artifacts, and how your child's teachers can get the same chance to bring the world back to the classroom. Well, from your education station, one of this year's biggest movies was Indiana Jones, where the archaeologist embarked on another wild adventure. Well, perhaps Trey Thames can identify with Harrison Ford. Trey's day job, he teaches at the Woodlands Christian Academy, but thanks to a little-known fund, he journeyed across the world this year and brought his adventures back to the classroom. Trey, thanks for coming in this morning. As I talk about you while you're not, as if you're not here, you actually went to, tell us where you went.
To Tel Gezer, Israel.
And on an archaeological dig, right?
Yes, I went there and worked for 5 weeks working on a dig site that dates to about first millennium BC.
Wow, you've brought along some of the artifacts that you found here, and kind of talk to us a little bit about, we want to tell people that these opportunities are available for other teachers, but we want to talk about why, because you're able to incorporate these artifacts into your teaching. How?
Well, first I want to clarify, these are actually artifacts that are non-artifacts. These are things that my students have pulled out of our simulated dig site that we've put together at our school. We built a 50-foot by 50-foot by 6-foot high dig site where my students are actually excavating things. These are things that I've purchased off of eBay, Goodwill, garage sales, etc. So these are not real artifacts, but these help simulate what real archaeologists will find in a real dig site.
And how did what you learned in, tell us, it was Tel Gezer, Israel?
Yes.
How did what you learned there help you with your students with this type of project?
Well, I knew all the history and culture, but I knew no methodology. I didn't know actually how to dig. And archaeology is not about just grabbing a shovel and looking for treasure. It's very specific methodology to setting out a grid pattern, digging down slowly, evenly, and slowly articulating around an artifact to preserve it.
We're looking at some of the pictures here from your trip, and this was in June, you said?
Yes.
5 weeks long.
Yes.
So, I mean, tell us how you found out that these opportunities were available and how you picked Tel Gezer for this trip.
Well, I found out about Fund for Teachers because a parent actually sent us an email saying, here's an opportunity for a grant. And at the last minute, I did the paperwork and sent work for the grant. And I just did some research and found Tel Gezer project with Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary in Fort Worth. That's where I graduated, got one of my master's degrees from. And they just started a year and a half ago, working at this site, reopened it.
Wow. And so a little bit about these things. You said you purchased all these things on eBay.
eBay and just different places, yeah. But
did you actually find some things on your dig whenever you were in Tel Gezer?
Yes, we found a lot of very interesting things. It was jewelry. There were dog burials. There were loom weights. There were lots of pottery, thousands and thousands of pieces of pottery. So a lot of interesting things. So
when you looked sort of for things to take to the classroom, you looked for similar things that your students could uncover back here in Houston.
Right.
Tell us a little bit, too. I understand that it hasn't just helped with just your teaching, that it sounds like a lot of the teachers in your school have also incorporated what you learned into their classrooms, too.
Well, we tried to create the dig site at our school, Tel Gezer, which is the name of our dig site. We tried to set it up so that our other teachers could incorporate it if they so desired. And we've had art history class come out and do some observations about some of the different art pieces that we've brought out of the dig site. We've had some math classes are hopefully working on doing some things on statistics on there. We've had our elementary students come out and do little mini field trips, so we explain to them how archaeologists work and do math lessons and elevations, that kind of thing.
Great. And it's not just archaeology, but we want to tell people and teachers how they can take advantage of the same opportunity by getting in touch with Fund for Teachers.
Yes. And the deadline is actually for this year, January the 30th. So they only have about a month left to go ahead and go to that website, fundforteachers.org, and get the paperwork. You do it online, and they can get in, and they'll find out by March.
Great. Trey, thanks so much for coming in. This is a great opportunity. We want to give you the information. You can contact Fund for Teachers at 713-296-6127. Applications, as Trey said, will be taken through January 30th, 2009, so you do have some time there. And you can get that link to Fund for Teachers on our website at click2houston.com. Thanks a lot for coming in.
Thank you.